All right, hey, hello there, welcome back. Today in this video, I want to talk about YouTube studios and, well, not like an actual studio, but a place to shoot your YouTube videos. And this video is going to be specifically for somebody who maybe doesn't have a huge house or an entire room that you can devote as like an office or a filming area. And I just want to show you how you can turn any space, any room in your house into a fully functioning YouTube studio. So with all that being said, let's get started. Now, when it comes to deciding where in your house or your place to have your YouTube studio, I've broken it down into three main factors to consider when making this decision. And the first thing to think about and to consider is your lighting. Now, I'm a big believer that lighting is honestly the most important thing that's gonna make your videos look professional and just high quality. And the same goes for your YouTube studio. I don't care how nice of a room you have, if you have bad lighting, the entire video is not gonna look very good. So for me personally, and this is what I recommend at some point if you can, or if you already can, then perfect. But I recommend using an external light. I like to control everything. Personally, I don't like using natural light from outside because as it comes through the window, it kind of just spills out everywhere. And for me, I like to have myself be brighter than my background, and sometimes that can be really hard when you're using natural light. Now, with that being said, if natural light is your only option, then that's fine too. Natural light honestly looks amazing on a subject, on a person, so if that's what you're working with, then don't feel bad, because that's a great option. But when you're deciding where to film, those are some things to think about. Secondly is distractions. There is nothing that I personally hate more than when somebody has is filming a video and there's just a bunch of just messy distractions going on in their background. So for you, when you're thinking of where to pick a spot, ideally it would have as few distractions in the background as possible. Now that might take some cleaning up, that might take some maneuvering every single time you film, and that's fine. For me, I'm using our dining table, which we don't use that much for eating anyways, but this is not a desk, this is a dining table. So normally we have, a plant in the center and other things randomly here and there. So every time that I get ready to film, I clean off the table and I make it look nice and clean and make sure that there are no distractions. You don't want people's eyes wandering off. You want people focused in on you when you're shooting videos. And the third thing to consider is the ease of use. How easy is it to set up your YouTube studio every time? Because odds are, if you're watching this video, then you're somebody who might not be able to, have a dedicated area as your YouTube studio, meaning you might not have the ability to leave your lights up all the time, or your microphone stand all the time, or your tripod all the time, right? So when you're choosing a spot, I think it's so important to figure it out. Can you use this same spot over and over and over again? And every time that you film, is it gonna be easy to set up and get going? Because honestly, for me, one thing that I've noticed is that if I choose a spot that's kind of hard, or it just takes some time to get everything set up, it becomes so much more, or so much less motivating to want to film, because I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to get the lights up, I've got to clean everything off, I've got to do this and this and this and that. And if your list of things to do is too long before you press record, those are just roadblocks that you don't want. You want to just eliminate those. So let me show you guys my situation, my YouTube studio, and I'll kind of just tell you how I came to choose this spot. Now, we don't live in a huge house that has a ton of extra space and spare rooms and whatnot. So I've had to get creative in finding the place that I film. Now, if you followed my channel for any length of time, you might know that I've tried to film here before. I've filmed here, and I've even thought about filming here. Now, some of these spots have been good, some of them haven't been, but the point is that none of these spots have been the ideal room that have checked all the boxes off my list. So how did I end up here? because honestly, this spot, I mean, behind me, this isn't anything special. This is like this little random corner of our apartment that we have. But honestly, the reason I chose this spot is because it checks all the boxes. When it comes to lighting, I can control the lighting. When it comes to distractions, I don't really have anything crazy in the background that's keeping your focus off of me. And not only that, but I was able to kind of play off some of these natural leading lines behind me that hopefully direct your attention right to me here in the center of frame. And when it comes to the ease of use, you know, this is not the way this looks right now is not how it permanently looks all the time. So for me to get all my lights, or to get my lights and my tripod and my microphone and all that, to get that out and set up, honestly takes about 10 minutes. And the more I do it, the faster I get. And it's really easy to keep the consistent look that I want every single time. I think having a consistent look is important. And I don't know if there's a lot of like facts and science behind it to back this up, but I just honestly think if you're able to constantly and consistently present the same image visually every single time, I think that subscribers and people who are watching tend to appreciate that, and they feel comfortable and they know what to expect every single time they click on one of your videos. So one thing I didn't talk about yet that I think is super important when it comes to your space is what's in the background. Does your studio, does your space, does it represent you? And for me, the answer is yes. You know, I've got strategically placed my laptop right here. Why? Because I'm constantly working on my computer, and this channel is kind of all about like cameras and filming and photography and stuff like that. And so this has to be here, right? I've got this dumb little lightning bolt over here behind my left shoulder, and I have that because honestly I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I like that, and it kind of represents me, so I chose it. And then, you know, on the wall we've got some photos that we've taken, and actually, yep, Haley took all of these, so it's not even my work, but you know, it's got our dog, these are photos of different adventures that we've been on just throughout, you know, our time together. So overall, when you look at this space as a whole, not only in my opinion does it look good, but it also represents me and brings out my personality and kind of what my channel is all about. So obviously this is a lot to think about, a lot to chew on. Hopefully you're not stressed out too much about where to choose, because at the end of the day, what I really believe is that it does not matter what your YouTube studio looks like. It does not matter where you film. The important thing is that you have a space that motivates you to create videos and to start working, because, you know, at the end of the day, nobody really cares what your studio looks like. Obviously, for you, you're going to be the person who cares more than anybody, but I think it is important to find a space that motivates you and inspires you and just feels comfortable. But don't let any of your limitations, don't let the fact that you have a small 1-bedroom apartment, don't let that discourage you from creating something and making the best out of whatever situation that you have. So I hope this video helped you. I hope this maybe gets you some gears turning in your head and how you can turn your own space into a YouTube studio. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it at all, even for just one smidgen of a second, would you go ahead and press that like button? I would definitely appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I would encourage you to do so. I made a goal at the beginning of the year to post 50 videos this year, and it's only, at the time of me shooting this video right now, it is only January 11th. And up to this point, I have released 5 videos on my YouTube channel. And if for any mathematicians out there, that's 10% of my goal. So your boy's already on a good track to getting to those 50 videos, and I would love nothing more than to have you along the journey every step of the way. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And once again, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video.